Welcome to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Community Report 31 for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. Now, this report was released on the 31st of July 2021, if you're watching this in the future. And I've already had a quick read through, and very much the focus is on the changes to the GUI. And I suppose probably the best way is just to get in and read what the devs have got to say. Greetings, dear comrades of the Soviet Republic. It is a hot summer here in Slovakia, so the workers from our heating plants can enjoy their sunbathe on the beach, and our firefighters have had extra work to do due to lightning storms. Yeah, we've had quite a few thunderstorms here in the UK as well. During these past weeks, we are continuing to work on the new GUI, and it was our focus, and it will not take long until we are able to release it into the public test branch. And that is quite interesting because a little while ago, someone actually posted a comment asking whether the new GUI was available. And at the time, I speculated that this new GUI would be part of the next major release that would include the changes to policing. But obviously, the devs are planning to have an interim release just for the GUI. Now, I actually quite like the idea of that because I'm really looking forward to using the GUI, so I'm a bit prejudiced on that point of view. And I think also that will make life a little bit easier, because if we suddenly get a major update that's got change to the policing, you don't really want to be struggling with a new GUI interface as well. I think having this GUI as a separate self-contained update will give us all a chance to learn it before we get into learning new game mechanics. Now, there are 3 pictures, but first I'm just going to read the second paragraph, then we'll take a good look at each one of these different pictures. So let us talk about some of the improvements we've made. First, we've added quick stats. You will be able to see when you hover your cursor over elements in the upper toolbar. You will be able to see quick stats for your citizens or economy, and it should help you make faster, educated decisions to bring the glory and prosperity to the Republic. Pictures are more than words in this case, so you can check these screenshots. Yeah, so what we're going to do is just take a look at the screenshots. So this one is a quick report to do with what your population's needs. And so we get equivalent of a breakdown when we open the screen, but what we'll be able to do is go up here and take a quick look. And it's actually in percentages rather than the bars. So I think that will be very useful. And for anyone who's not familiar with the information at the top, you can see the money's on the left-hand side, the date, the weather, and then on the right-hand side, we've got, I think this is workers. I'm not sure. I think this is productivity. And then what you've got is health and happiness. I think health and happiness is going to be very useful. So we'll just cancel that. Let's get down to the second picture and what we got here. Yeah, so this is a breakdown of income. So we got, that's quite interesting because it's actually showing 2 months. So what it's showing is the previous month and probably the income for the active month, because it's saying the 27th of December there. So obviously, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. And it shows what vehicles we've imported and exported, foreign manpower. So this is probably not as useful as it could be, beyond the fact that you could got an almost immediate check now of your imports and exports and whether you're actually making a profit. So that would be quite useful as well. And we'll just go down here. What we got here? Oh, this actually looks like it's the actual population rather than workers. I'm starting to like this screen actually, because this gives a lot more information. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because what you've got here is uneducated workers as a percentage, workers with lower education, and workers with higher education. So that gives you a full breakdown of the education status in your economy, and it's actually as a percentage. So that's quite useful. So moving down children, we've got 0 to 6 as a percentage, 7 to 15, 16 to 21, and 21s were own flat. Interesting. So that means you don't have to bring out the overlay to see whether you've got over 21s you need to deal with. I actually quite like this breakdown. This could be because that gives you an idea of how many children you need in kindergarten, assuming that maybe 7 to 15 is normal schools and probably 16 to 21 is students getting a university education. Then at the bottom it says others, 21 plus studying at university. Prisoners. That's a portent for the future. So we will have a prison population and tourists. So that is going to be quite interesting Again, this figure here, it says 21 plus is studying at university. Up until now has been a bit of a hidden stat, so being able to see that would be quite useful. And I must admit, I'm looking forward to using this bottom bar. My only main concern with the GUI is if you've got large numbers of mods like I've got. Quite interesting. Wonder what these drop down things like across the bottom here could be. Well, that will all be revealed. And so I think that's enough of the GUI. So what we got here, so moving down, it says then we were doing some changes to in-game window openings. We implemented automatically closing windows for different facilities. You can see a road vehicle depot as an example of the screenshot. When you click on the facility to open its window, the window opens on the right and automatically closes if you choose a different facility. So it looks very much like they've actually moved the actual window away from the left-hand side, probably to clear this menu here. So in fact, some ways I like that. Closes if you choose a different facility. If you want to keep the window open, you can move it and pin it. There will also be a setting to disable this feature and switch on the current old version. So let's have a look and see what it actually means. So, I mean, the screen's a bit overcomplicated because obviously they've had this drop down here, and you're looking at an excavator, and you've got the covered hole here. Ah, you can see it's pinned here. So what you could do is pin this to say you want this open, and then you want to open up the depot here to see what you've got. And I'm assuming that they've clicked on this, one of these two excavators here. In fact, I would guess it's probably this one here because of the Cyrillic alphabet name here. I'm not too sure about this, to be honest. I think I'd have to use it to see if I like it. But one nice thing is that if you don't like it, you can just turn it off. And then we're just going to move down again. I think we've now finished with the GUI, so it looks like we're looking at something to do with vehicles. Next thing we were working on was the rework of the S1203. The model has been in game, was not the best. It was remade and more skins were added. In addition, we made new skins for other vehicles too. You'll be able to use different skins for the LZ100 trucks, and there are more black skins for certain personal cars which were used by secret police were added to. Yeah, so it looks like they've. Oh wow, I like that one. That looks pretty cool. Oh, this is actually quite like the covers on that. I think that looks pretty awesome actually. It's going to encourage me to zoom in more and look at the trucks more. And I think what we got here, yep, we got the military police with the, looks like they got blacked out windows as well under the statue of Lenin. I think this is just a pre-builder for what most likely will be patrolling the streets, and probably the security equivalent of ambulances, because at the moment you've got the ambulances go out and pick up people who are ill. So what we'll probably have is buildings with lines of these little black cars here, which will go out and arrest people when the crime is detected. And then just to finish off, it says we continue to work on the GUI and for now, and we hope it will be out on the public test branch soon. Enjoy the life and stay tuned to the next report. I'm starting to like this GUI. One of the things that annoys me at the moment is that because you've got to keep clicking in, I keep forgetting to check things. I think the ability to just flip across this top screen and get information just by quick drop downs will actually help considerably. Especially what was the one here? This one. I actually quite like this breakdown because I've always struggled a little bit with the current display with trying to work out, uneducated workers, workers with lower education, higher education. It's always been a little bit of kind of trying to work out what's going on. And I think this children one will be quite useful because, say for example, here you can see you've got kind of 13,000 7 to 15-year-olds and 10,000 16 to 21-year-olds. So say if you had a bit of a baby boom and that was coming through the system, that would give you a kind of pre-warning for the fact that you need to make more accommodation for when they hit 21. Anyway, I'm going a little bit deeper than I intended to do, so this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.